by the name of Mythos. Imagine, if you will, a universe that expands not just one singular galaxy, but several, 12 to be precise. Stemming from one singular entity, 12 lustrous and cosmic planes of reality stretch out before them, each represented by primal spirits of the stars and space. Draco, mighty and inspiring dragons that weave their worlds into beautifully serene and yet quiet canvases that remind one of landscapes of bittersweet history. Serpents, crystalline snakes that fractured off the towering, shimmering mother crystal that hammered its way through the void to spring forth life, their cosmic creator coiling herself around the world to keep them safe and happy. Acus, stallions and mares charging their way through the darkness, bringing life and endless adventure throughout their trail of stars. Capre, fittingly ramming their way through the devastation of the void-ridden cracks, their world opening before their eyes. Pastures of colorful and beautiful planets with speckles of light to shepherd their way home. Simia, playful primates that harness the whimsical clouds of space to fly through the dull, empty darkness, the trail of clouds they leave behind to expand the galaxy in their wake. Gallus, proud and brave birds that clawed and pierced their way past the black. Like birds of prey, they dive through the sea of void, rising back out to unleash waves of planets and stars across the endless landscape. Canis, true and loyal dogs that chase the darkness back, unveiling the nearly lost cosmos it was hoarding for itself. Porcus, sturdy and tenacious swine that dig and consume the void, risking their own lives to shape a new plane that new life can thrive in their stead. A near sacrifice that would never be forgotten. Rati, cunning and spry rodents weaving like needles and cloth through the black threads before them, replacing the dull fabric with lustrous and breathtaking stars and small but mighty planets. Bovis, charging with righteous anger, the cosmic bull decimated the walls before him to unveil a plane of space that would handle someone of his magnitude, to chisel and shape the new fields his hooves can sink into. Tigress, hunters in their own right. The deadly big cats snuff out the prey of the void they were made to slay, their mother cosmos clawing out a unique but beautiful plane of reality that lets spirits roam free. And finally, where our story takes place, Lepus. With quiet and gentle footsteps, the cosmic rabbit opens her arms out to the void, letting all of it that resides in her plane right into her arms, the void melting away in her embrace. The mother rabbit lets her hair down, and from it unveils the bountiful stars, mighty planetary stones, and her first mortal creations, the Titania Magnus. Giants that would mold the stones into the homes her cosmic spirits will come to inhabit. Amongst the 12, the Lepus plane was deemed the one with the most thriving with life, possibilities, and, unfortunately, the most prone to the remnants of a pocketing void that lingered between the planes. Vacuosia, or as the mortals and cosmic tongues would come to call it, the Outer Realms. Ravenous beyond comprehension, it pulls in those far gone from their mortal coil to sustain itself. It hunts out the living and the deities walking amongst them, in the hopes of consuming their minds and essence to spread itself back into the planes from which it originally came. A balance that the center of everything deemed fitting in its bittersweet way. Their grand creations must always stay strong and vigilant, lest the thing they hunted would one day hunt them. In the heart of Lepus lies its pride and joy, the solar system, guided by its two bodies of power, The Curia Planetaria, celestial lepus spirits that linked themselves to their respectful planets, bestowed epithets of lord and ladyship that would reflect gods amongst their people, and the Magnus Quator, the 4 patrons that oversee the Curia and the entirety of the cosmos. Patron of mortals in history, Lord Hercules. Matron of stars and justice, Lady Eos. Patron of death and balance, Lord Chaos. And the Lepus cosmic creator herself, Lady Cronoa, matron of cosmos, celestials, and life itself. With their guidance and their stalwart hearts of the Curia, the Lepus plane has stayed strong and fought back the outer realms for eons. At least, those are the tales mortals tell each other. Despite loss, so shall rise the Curia. At the very center of the Curia's domain lies a floating island called Europa, minuscule as a planet, but towering as a moon, lingering between the 2 massive powerhouses of planets, Jupiter and Saturn. Europa hosts bits of communities that migrated between the 2 planets it looms over, as well as those brave enough to leave further away planets to see what's beyond the skies they knew for so long. To the upper side of Europa, there is the very establishment that many interstellar travelers praise for not only the delightful brews of coffee, the flavorful pastries, and dishes that fly out of the kitchen, but the welcoming giant of a man that built the place, Café Cosmos. A seemingly simple coffee and boarding house where weary customers can unwind and tell their stories to the man behind the counter. The giant that goes by the name Macchiato. His towering presence is subverted by his friendly attire of striped button shirts, his leather apron that barely covers his stomach, swept over auburn hair with graying highlights, trimmed beard, and gold-rimmed glasses with blue and pink gradient lenses that cover his uniquely emerald eyes, that some barely see due to his ever-grinning demeanor. Some say he's been on Europa before anyone else, many chalking it up to his elvish bloodline that kept him alive for this long. When asked how he got so gigantic compared to the elves residing on Earth, his lighthearted, happy response is, "Well, I got it from my mom," following up by leaning to mutter amusingly, "My dad was a courageous man." Macchiato has one golden rule at his cafe. If there is a cup in your hands and you're right in front of me, I expect to hear a good story. While he has heard some very compelling, amusing, similar, or downright awful stories that went nowhere, he is always eager to get up every day, serve the people of Europa and across the galaxy, ready to hear them all.